Today I'm ranking every single weapon that I've unlocked so far inside of moco. Which are the ones that you should focus on and which are the ones that you should really not use? You will know by the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe for daily moco videos and live streams every day on the channel. First, we're going to take a look at the monster Slugger, which is a massive damage dealer, but it is a ranged baseball bat. Essentially here, you're going to be doing 4 attacks, and on that 4th attack, you're going to have a big, massive swing, which is going to do massive damage. This is a really good weapon, but it is not the best. I'm going to go ahead and give the monster Slugger a B tier, a B ranking. So it's right there in the middle. Next up, we have the Techno Fists, which, spoiler alert, is one of my favorites inside of the game. This is a ranged attack. I call it the Power Glove from back in the day of Nintendo, where you just throw fireballs that can bounce between enemies, which is actually nice because it could do some more splash damage. After 10 attacks, you're going to be throwing a mega ball of energy that also does bounce between enemies. So this is a great one that does a lot of damage and allows you to stay at range as well. This one is good in all areas of the game, and I find it to be one of my personal favorites. We got to go ahead and give the Techno Fists an S tier. Coming in at number 3 is the Wolf Stick, and this one definitely has its position inside of the game because when you do your main attack, you will eventually summon a wolf that acts as an attacker as well as a tank for you. If you're playing a game mode where you have big bosses and you're trying to keep them away, the Wolf Stick is a good play at that point in time. That's when it could really be used well, and this has helped me get through various stages of the game. It also is quite a bit of fun because you're summoning something to fight alongside of you, which is just unique to the game, at least at this point in time. It's used in all areas. I see people enjoying this weapon all the time. This one's between an S and an A for me, but because it is a difference maker in some of these bigger boss battles, I'm going to give the Wolf Stick an S tier. Maybe I'm being generous, but that's what I'm giving it. The Staff of Good Vibes. I love the idea of this weapon. I think that it's a little weak though at this point in time. This is a healing weapon. It does have a primary attack, which is one of the weakest inside of the game, but it will drastically heal in a positive way your teammates as well as yourself. This is good if you're looking to play a support role inside of the game. If you're running big rifts and you want to be able to heal up your team, or you're all going against a big boss, you have your damage dealers, you have your tanks, and someone needs to heal, this would be the weapon that you use. Unfortunately, right now inside of the game, I feel that this is one of the weaker weapons, and I think the healer builds themselves are a little bit underpowered. So I'm going to go ahead and give this weapon right now a C tier, although I would love to see the class of healer, the healer builds, get built up a little bit so that this can be jumping up to a B or even an A tier in the future. I can see that coming with balance changes. Don't put this one in the closet for now. It definitely has its uses. Toothpick and Shield. This is how you build out your tank class. I don't know what it is about this one, but I actually really do like it. I do like the healing class, feel that the tank class is a little bit weaker than it should be. But the cool thing about Toothpick and Shield, a melee weapon, is that you take less damage, 25% less damage from any hits that you take inside of the game. In addition to that, every 15 hits that you do take, you slam the ground and do a massive area of effect damage to all the enemies around you. I particularly like this one. Even though it's a little underpowered, I think it's the only one in the game that has the reduced damage buff, and I see that being very valuable because of this and its uniqueness and the way that I just personally like it. I'm gonna give it an A tier. Next, we're gonna talk about the portable portal. When I got this weapon, I was really excited, and it also has some unique abilities. Utilizing this, you basically have yourself a bit of a ranged attack. And when you do get to that super element, it utilizes the first gear that you have selected. As you can see right here, I have the fireworks selected. So when the super is at its point, it's going to utilize this gear, but it's not going to put the gear on cooldown. So essentially, you could really customize what the special or what the super looks like when utilizing the portable portal, which is quite unique, and you could make it really niche for particular moments inside of the game. With that said, I don't think it's one of the best ones, although it is quite unique, and I have to go ahead and give this one a C tier. The CPU bomb, another one of my favorites actually, although very niche. This one offers massive damage to an area of effect. Plus it has an explosion that comes along with it. You're basically going to be throwing your bombs, doing a area of effect damage, and every 8th bomb is going to have a massive explosion, a CPU mega bomb that's going to do massive damage to the entire area. But you're vulnerable because this is kind of like Dynamite in Brawl Stars. If enemies get up close to you, you don't have as much power against them because this is a very area of effect damage weapon. So you need to make sure that you keep your distance, and you could probably set up your gadgets and your passives to protect you at closer range in case someone gets that really close. With that said, I absolutely love this one. This is the one I will typically use when I'm doing any campaign or open world type events. So I'm gonna give the CPU bomb an S tier because at the end of the day, with its splash damage, it offers the ability to do the most amount of damage against big groups of enemies, which can give you a ton of experience and really help out the group. Next up, we have Speed Shot, which is one of the fastest, or actually it is the fastest attacking weapon inside of the game. With Speed Shot, you shoot your bow and arrow, single target weapon, but once your ultimate bar fills up, you attack at a double speed, super speed attack, and you do that until you stop attacking and hitting targets. So when you get on a big boss, you can continuously speed attack them, dropping massive amounts of damage on one enemy, which is why this is a great one for taking down bosses, and also why it's another one of my favorites and sitting at the top of the list as an S tier weapon. Speed Shot, you're gonna fall in love with it when you unlock it. It's absolutely amazing. Now, before we get into the final weapon that I've unlocked, I'm asking you guys to go into the shop, scroll all on over to the right, and insert code ECHO. This directly supports me as a content creator here in love with and covering moco, bringing you guys these guides and live streams every single day. I appreciate your support, and if you don't want to put in code ECHO, put in another content creator's code, because you should always be supporting those that are bringing you the content that you love. Next up is the most recent weapon that I've unlocked, which is Medicine Ball. This is a melee attack weapon that on every 3rd attack, it's going to heal you and everyone around you. So this is another healing style weapon, but this one, unlike the Staff of Good Vibes, is going to be up close and personal, which can actually heal potentially even more people if you're all meleeing on top of a big boss. This one, though, I feel is a bit more niche for when you're going to have a big bunch around you. I'm going to go ahead and give this one also a C tier, just because I think the healing meta needs a little bit of a buff. Actually, I want to change my rating, because the Medicine Ball just seems to do a lot more damage. So we're going to take it from that C tier that I originally said, and I'm going to give it a bump. We're going to bump it up to a B tier because it drops more damage and heals at the same time. Yeah, I'm more comfortable with that. Now, of course, there are a few weapons that I've yet to unlock, and when I do unlock those weapons, I will refresh this tier list, bring you another one so you can have an even more full analysis of all the weapons. On top of that, moco is going to continue to introduce more and more weapons, passives, and gadgets inside of the game, and I'll be bringing you my breakdowns of all of those when they do release. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys at noon Eastern time today when I go live playing moco.